So overnight, a legal win for the president's push to restore law and order in L.A. As a federal court rules, he can keep the National Guard deployed there as protests rage across Los Angeles. Moments ago, President Trump reacting on Truth Social saying, quote, "If I didn't send the military into Los Angeles, that city would be burning to the ground right now. We saved L.A. Thank you for the decision." Former federal prosecutor Jonathan Fahey served as the acting ICE Director under President Trump's first term, and he joins us now. Jonathan, thanks so much for joining the program this morning.
Thank you.
You know, it's really hard to follow the courts on this. You had that decision late in the evening, and then you got one overnight from the courts. But I think when you look at the merits, they're going to stand with the president on this issue, right?
I think you're exactly right. And it's probably not over in the court system.
Right.
This will ultimately be heard by the Ninth Circuit and then possibly the Supreme Court. But the merits that President Trump is on are very strong. This statute allows him to bring in the National Guard when he decides that there is an interference with federal agencies doing their jobs. And clearly that was the case here. It's not even arguable that these rioters, their whole intent was to prevent the ICE from doing their jobs. That was their stated purpose.
That's
and
right.
What makes this case even more unique is California wasn't even trying to help. It's not like their local law enforcement was trying to help and they were unsuccessful. They were, at least in spirit, with the rioters in this case. So President Trump was not only right, it was his responsibility to do so, and things would have gotten a whole lot worse if he didn't.
Yeah, it's just one of those cases where you see the Democrats continue using the courts to delay because they realize that it's really not under real good legal footing, but they don't care. It's delay. I want to get your attention to Senator Padilla, because yesterday he was removed from the Secretary of Homeland Security's presser, and this is how he behaved. Watch.
Hands up, hands up. I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the Secretary, because the fact of the matter is a half a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your hands off.
On the ground. On the ground. Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
If you let my hands go and put them behind my back. All right.
Cool. One hand. Lay flat. Lay flat.
So it was clearly a political stunt, right?
Clearly a political stunt and really bizarre behavior for a United States senator to act like this was somehow legitimate. And what makes this even worse is the reaction of other Democrats to this. Right. Because the other Democrats have essentially said that he was in the right here. He has every right to go in, disrupt a press conference, lunge towards the stage, and they act like Donald Trump or somehow behind this. These were law enforcement officers there to protect the secretary, and they did what they were supposed to do. This idea that they should have known there would be an unhinged senator there. And by the way, nobody outside of maybe the inside the Beltway world knows who Senator Padilla even is, but this idea that they should have known who he was, and somehow if he is an unhinged Democratic senator, he has free reins to go to the podium. It's so unbelievably bizarre. And I think a question for them would be, if somebody barges into their office saying they want to ask the senator a question, are they going to stop this person, or are they just going to let him through? Because, you know, everything that the law enforcement did was appropriate here. There was nothing political about it. And the Democrats, again, this kind of goes back to the first topic. All they want to do is create chaos, because on the merits of their positions, they can't win. So they want to create chaos and be disruptive. But disgraceful performance by him, but even worse by the other Democrats who were supporting him.
Well, Jonathan, it also goes to the original sin, which is ICE was trying to do operations and they were prevented from doing that. This senator is essentially doing the same thing. So he made the argument, if they treat me this way, how are they going to treat other Americans? Well, if the senator is behaving this way when a government official is trying to do their job, what are the agents supposed to do, right, Jonathan?
Well, exactly. Like, how are they supposed to treat him? It's like, wait, are you supposed to just be able to charge into a press conference and go at the secretary? Of course not. And you're absolutely right on your point that he's doing what these rioters were doing, and these ICE agents, to begin with, were serving judicial warrants, meaning issued by a federal judge to do what they were doing. So they've been in the right the entire time. The administration's been in the right the entire time. If he truly wanted to talk to the secretary, he should make an appointment or make a phone call. The whole thing is nonsense. It's disgraceful. But again, they have no leg to stand on the merits, so they have to resort to these theatrics, and it's just embarrassing for him and the rest of the Democrats.
He's trying to increase his name ID. I guess he's looking for a run, too. Jonathan Fahey, we appreciate you coming on the program.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.